Let's call this meeting of the Harriman City Council, November the 18th, 2025, to order. Before we get started, we'll have a prayer by Councilman Wright, followed by the pledge allegiance to the flag. Councilman Wright.
Shall we pray? Our Heavenly Father, as we gather here again tonight, Father, we thank you for allowing us to meet on behalf of our citizens, to represent them as the mayor and council. And Father, may your Spirit lead us and help us to make the right decisions for our people. Father, we are most thankful for all the blessings that we have received in our community, for the safety of our employees as they carry out their duties. We ask a special blessing for every person gathered here tonight. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll, please.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Alicia Harris,
Here.
John Brackett,
Here.
Lonnie Wright,
Here.
Cheryl Laxton. Here.
I'd like to declare a quorum. Motion to approve the minutes of the November the 4th, 2025 meeting. Motion. Motion by Councilman Wright, second by Councilwoman Harris. Councilman Wright.
No, sir.
Councilwoman Harris.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Alicia Harris,
Yes.
John Brackett,
Yes.
Lonnie Wright,
Yes.
Cheryl Laxton. Yes.
Motion carries. Motion to pay the bills.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Laxton, second by Councilman Bradford. Councilwoman Laxton.
No, sir.
Councilman Bradford. No, sir. Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Cheryl Laxton. Yes.
Motion carries. This time we're here for delegation. If you'd like to address this council, please come up to the podium, state your name, and limit your comments to 3 minutes. There being no one, we'll go into reports. Mr. Ryder, you have anything?
Yes, I do, Mayor. Thank you very much. Council members, I just have a quick report for you tonight, and that is that the transition to one bank is almost complete. Literally, the only thing we have left is a little bit with the general fund bank account, and then once that's complete, then we will be fully transitioned over. I think I mentioned at last council meeting, we're going to need to find another financial institution that handles credit card payments. We don't, let me be very specific, that handles credit card services, which is to say, whenever the department heads use their credit cards, we either have a choice of staying with Regions Bank or going to another financial institution. Unfortunately, one bank does not offer credit cards. So I'm in the process of finding some local banks that we can use for that as well.
So, Mr. Adler, we still have some funding still with the Regions Bank in order to cover any credit card transactions?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Okay.
I mean, we're going to have to leave that account open because it is connected to multiple state and federal agencies. So we're going to have to leave that account open just to be able to receive revenue.
Okay.
But we'll transition away from that, probably by the end of the year completely, but leave the account open just in case we receive some revenue from federal government. And so I just want to also mention that I will be out of town tomorrow morning. I'll leave in the morning. I'll be here for a little while, and then I'll be back Thursday afternoon. I've got an economic development conference in Mount Juliet. And that's all I have. Happy to answer any questions.
Anybody have anything?
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers.
Yes, sir.
City Attorney Gavin.
Thank you, Mayor. Really no report from me tonight. Of course, I did work from the City of Harriman office today, so thanks to Scott for that space. We're effectively in the building, so it's good to be around. I will mention we did receive a deed from Arlene Carr last week to Tommy Hester's property, so we'll pay her for that, and the city will be able to start work on that property, repairing it after that. And we're always, of course, working on the delinquent taxes. We got the motions for default coming up, and then the 2020s will be sold in April. Other than that, we're just advising city officials on questions they have. Always around, unless anybody has any questions. That's my report.
Like having you in the building and being able to stop by and talk to Mr. Gavin.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gavin. Mr. Mason?
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, members of the City Council. Since our last meeting 2 weeks ago was our first meeting of the month, and I had a quite lengthy report. Mine will be much more brief this evening. Just wanted to bring a couple of things to our attention. Not only affects people here in Harriman, but really all over our county and state. Talked with our Fire Chief, John Johnson. The lack of rain, low humidity, and high winds. Recommending there's no outside burning going on. Of course, within the city limits, you're always required to have a burn permit. But talk with our fire department, at least until we get some rain and things are not quite as dry, recommending that no outside burning. If they have questions, they can call our chief. Fire department Station 1, it's 865-882-3072. You can also the City of Harriman website to fill out a burn permit, but it also directs you back to our Station 1. Got quite a view. It's the most wonderful time of the year coming up. We've got Thanksgiving, just some things that we have on tap. We've got over 70 entries already for our Christmas parade, and just want to touch on that. I've talked with other city officials with Christmas parades coming up, and it's always a great time, but you always worry about the safety of others. And talking with some officials, there's been an increase of people in parades throwing candy and hitting people in the crowds and on the sidewalks. And of course, if the candy doesn't quite make it, you're always worried about small children running out. And so across the county at our Christmas parades this year, if you want to have candy, that is great. We just ask that you have an individual next to your float or your vehicle to walk and hand that candy out as opposed to throw it. It just increases the safety for everybody.
It makes a lot of sense.
It's a whole lot more fun to walk and hand them the candy.
Safer too.
New thing we've never had before, and Jenna's got this going. It's the Small Saturday Christmas Market. That's going to be held in Gates Hall. I think she's got so many people and local businesses and vendors involved. It's going to be actually in Gates Hall and then around City Hall. But it's all of our local merchants. There'll be candle making, Christmas decor, local bakeries, jewelry, hot cocoa, kids crafts. So there'll be a lot to do on that day here in City Hall. So that will be on Saturday, November the 29th. And that is a week from this Saturday from 10 to 4. So certainly encourage everybody to come out and take part in that. Planning already for our Rockin' New Year's Eve. Talked to our fireworks people today. Looking for some sponsors for that, but expecting another big night as we bring in 2026. And yes, Santa Claus is going to be coming to town. Our annual Santa route is going to take place on December 19th, I'm sorry. That's a half a day for the kids. We'll start right after lunch, and that's where Santa gets on our fire truck, and we go all around the city. So that route will be exactly what we had last year, but if you're not sure what that is, it'll be posted on our Facebook page and our website. Just want to give you a quick update. We've got several grants going on, and this one is good news. As you know, we applied for the LPRF grant, and that's the new gym floor, the HVAC, and the parking lot, and we hope was going to be lights at Riverfront Park around the walking trail. And when we started this, how long ago, Keita? 8 months ago, a year ago, whenever we applied and found out we had the LPRF, the initial estimates, it's going to be a $600,000 grant. And those initial estimates came back, and there's not going to be any money left for any lights. So we did the bids. We came back, and if you recall, several months ago, we were a little concerned. We were happy with the gym floor bid, felt very good with that, but our HVAC and our parking lot bids were not good at all. So we decided to rebid those. And so you've got a piece of paper in front of you. That is good news. If you look in the left-hand side right there, that was what we had initially planned. But after our rebids, you can see our total, when everything's said and done, about $503,000. We've not started negotiations on the parking lot. And talking with Charlie, what we hope to do is make some adjustments to the plans, reduce that total cost below $503,000. Bottom line, we expect out of the $600,000 grant to have at least $100,000 left to put some lights around our walking trail down at Riverfront Park. Charlie, is there anything else, or you have any questions? Charlie and Keita are the grant experts about our LPRF. But
So we had the people come back in. I think I sat in on that first bid and they were extremely high. So you had them come back in, Keita?
Yeah, we did the rebid on the HVAC and we got that bid back in. So we took it and then the parking lot, we're gonna look at working on it.
Okay.
and if you look at the bid after the rebid, the $142,486.60 was for our HVAC. That was higher than what we originally planned, but prior to the rebid, we were able to save, I think it's $80,000, isn't it, on the rebid. So that was huge for us. And again, we expect to do the HVAC first, put the gym floor in this spring after basketball season, and then the parking lot at that time.
So all of C and D is out of the grant?
Say that one more time, Councilman.
The items on the agenda tonight, all of C and D is out of that grant?
Yes, thank you. The items that we have on our agenda are our rebids, yes, sir. To accept those bids. Speaking, any more questions about our LPRF grant?
I've wondered about that. I had the same question.
Also, if you've not been to Riverfront Park, we've had our Field of Honor down there. That will go again through Friday night, and then the Field of Honor will come down Saturday. So if you've not had a chance to go down there and take a walk through those 200 flags, look at those name tags of heroes that we're honoring, certainly do that before Saturday, because the Field of Honor will be taken away after Saturday morning.
Now, I think Chris mentioned that the flags, the people that paid for them could get them.
Yes, if you bought a flag through Harriman High School, you have the option to keep that flag, and Chris and Harriman High School will make contact. They'll save it for you if you want to take that home. If not, they save that and then reuse the flag next year in the Field of Honor.
You mean Chris Mason?
Yes, Chris Mason.
And they're actually they're very reasonable, right? I mean, I may
We've
stand
already
corrected.
paid for them.
Yeah, but you can still buy one at till the time, right?
No, it's already.
I have to check on that.
I think he mentioned that you can still come and buy a flag at $35. Am I correct?
Yeah.
That's what it
It
said.
just won't be displayed.
It won't be displayed.
No, but you can still put a tag on it and still keep it and give it to said person or
Okay.
whatever. Yeah.
Also want to welcome to the Harriman family Matt Reed. Matt comes back to Harriman Parks and Rec. He started yesterday, brings over 20 years of Parks and Recreation experience. So certainly glad to have him and his knowledge. And
How'd you work that one, Charlie?
Glad to have you. Glad to have you.
Absolutely.
all of the items, the direction will be updated and emailed out at the end of the week. Unless you have other questions, that's my report for this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thanks, sir. This time we'll go into new business. First time discussing possibly approve the final reading of ordinance 1025-01, an ordinance authorizing fines and costs to be collected through a collection agency. Motion to authorize city manager to go out for bids for collection agency.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Harris, second by Councilman Johnson. Councilwoman Harris.
No, sir, just, again, this is just for the city manager to get bids for an agency. We're not saying,
Councilman Johnson. Floor is open for discussion.
So this will come back up again?
Yeah, Gavin, you want to explain it?
In the form of a contract, it will come back.
Okay.
Yeah. I think the way we were alerted about this, there were some discussions with the company maybe, and they sent a draft agreement, and we said, whoa, we need to pass an ordinance allowing us to do this first.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, it will come back before you, but in the form of a contract after the bids are issued or something.
Let me ask you a question real quick, Gavin. In the form of contract from after the bid process has been done, when would council decide how far back that they will go on this? Would they do that tonight, or would they do that as far as how far back will they collect?
I think that could be set forth in the contract that you have with the collection agency. I think the ordinance tonight says, does it say anything?
It says that they'll collect 60 days after, I guess, the court hearing.
Yeah.
But there's nothing in there that states when, how far back we'll go back, start from day one.
Yeah.
Like if we hired them today, what are they going to collect?
Right. No, I don't think you decide that tonight. I think you determine that in the contract with this collection agency.
So if it ended up, the cost was higher than what we expect,
But I think you'd still have to put that out in the form of a bid. You have to tell them what they're bidding on. If they're bidding 5 years or 12 months or 10 years, I would think you'd have to put that in your bid packet to know what you're bidding on. If I was bidding and I was a collection agency, if I was gonna bid whether I was gonna collect 95,000 or I was gonna collect 5,000, that changes
It would, yeah.
what I would do, I would think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
That's a good point. I don't think that changes anything with this ordinance that we've got drafted tonight. I mean, we can make specifications in the bid documents
Okay.
about that.
So even if we pass this ordinance, it gets on our books, but that doesn't mean we'll have to,
Right, this is just enabling authority that allows us to.
whether it's this council
We could pass
or
this.
council 10 years from now decides to do this.
Right, we could
Okay.
pass this tonight and then never touch it.
Okay, that's my question. Okay.
yeah. Okay.
Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Felicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Cheryl Laxton.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve the bid from Canon Copiers for $224.61 per month. Motion by Councilwoman Harris, second by Councilman Brackett. Councilwoman Harris.
No, had a lot of discussion with Keita and something that we need, and we need to move forward.
I totally concur. Council lady.
Floor is open for any further discussion. Call the roll, please.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Felicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Cheryl Laxton.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve the bid by Southern Flooring for the community center gym floor replacement in the amount of $95,500, subject to OREC approval.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by
I'll second.
Councilman Johnson, second by Councilwoman Laxton. Councilman Johnson.
No, sir.
Councilwoman Laxton.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion.
What is OREC? Typo?
OREC is the Office of Outdoor Recreation. It's the governing body similar to TDEC or other governing bodies that have to get final approval on those plans. And it's through the state of Tennessee.
Okay.
Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Felicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Cheryl Laxton.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next item, discuss and possibly approve the bid by Powers Heating and Air LLC for the community center HVAC in the amount of $142,486.60, subject to OREC approval.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Brackett,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Laxton. Councilman Brackett.
No, sir.
Councilwoman Laxton.
No, sir.
Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Tim Johnson,
Yes.
Felicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Cheryl Laxton.
Yes.
Motion carries. Next time, discuss and possibly approve rezoning the property located at 325 Fairchild Street, Harriman, Tennessee, map 036H, Group C, parcel 006.100, from R1 Low Density Residential to C2 General Commercial District.
Mayor, can we get, a city manager to kind of maybe mull over that just a little bit for us,
Mr. Mason?
please? And the audience.
Yeah, the particular property on the screen right here, this request was brought before our planning commission. I think it's in your packets back in April. Request was made to go from R1 to C1, C2. The planning commission approved it, and of course, whether they approve or don't approve always comes before the city council. We wanted to get some more information about the change, why it was occurring, and the plans that were to be there. So this is just a recommendation from the planning commission. Really nothing you all can approve tonight. For it to be approved, to actually be rezoned, we'd have to go through an ordinance process where we notify the public, give them 15 days, and then give proper notice in the paper as well, and have the second hearing, we have a public hearing. So the purpose of having it on the agenda tonight, we do have an individual here that represents that owner that would bring forth some information that might help with the deliberation.
Thank you.
Would we be voting tonight to move forward, to add it to the agenda, to vote on it at a later date? Is that what we're?
That's what Gavin and I talked about
Yeah.
today. Really, there's nothing nothing the council can approve tonight. Just hear
Well, it's
the,
not final tonight. I think it's got to be an ordinance, so there's 2 readings required. To me, it looks like first you would have this notice in the paper and a public hearing, and then do the first reading and the second reading. It's not clear, though. I think you could pass it on first reading tonight, and then do the public notice in the Roane County News, and then have the second, have the public hearing, and then have the second reading at the next meeting. I think that's enough.
But is it an ordinance though?
yeah, and one thing
If
what
you
I
don't
would
have
feel
an
more
ordinance
comfortable with,
drafted, then-
we have our discussion about what we wanted to do. If there's a motion to move forward, whether approved or not, I would feel more comfortable having the first read, having the actual ordinance in front of council
Right.
for approval. That would still,
Yeah, I'm not sure that the neighborhood would accept it.
yeah, again, proper notice, even after, if the first reading of the ordinance was approved, again, those ordinances can always be changed, but that would be notice to us to advertise it in the paper, put the notice of change on the property, and invite feedback during that time period before we had a second reading. So
So
possibly this would be,
just to prove that,
what's that?
what you
To
just said.
approve to move forward.
Yeah.
First reading, we need to approve the ordinance that was put in front of you.
That would be probably 2 weeks, Mayor, enough time to draft the ordinance.
That's not what this is.
No,
It's just to say move forward or don't move forward. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what it means.
yeah, and discuss and see what the owner, council chooses to listen to.
And again, the public hearing allows, as Councilwoman Laxton said, the neighborhood people will have a proper notification. We send out letters right to those that are around
We
that
do,
area. Does the city, does it come from the planning commission?
Comes from the planning commission.
planning commission.
Yeah, not from the
Yeah,
city.
They put a sign.
we wouldn't, yeah, we'd put signage on the property. We don't send letters out.
Well, and it does have to go in the Roane County News. That's not
Yes.
in our ordinance.
And on our
Website.
Website.
Because
So you're not asking the council to make any kind of motion or second to move forward tonight. You're just want to put it on here so we could hear maybe from the representative as
Correct.
to what they're gonna do with the property, so we know when it comes on there what's going on. And they
That's
can
my
hear
concern.
our input.
Yeah, then when that ordinance does come in front of you in the next 2 or 3 meetings, be more informed.
That's my concern is what's gonna be there. So,
Do you want to let him, have him come?
Yeah, we have Sam Mullins here.
Yeah.
Ben Mullins. Sorry.
No problem. No problem. Thank you all for hearing me. Ben Mullins, like Mr. Smeltzer, I'm an attorney in Knoxville. I represent the property owner, Harriman Rentals, who owns it right now. I'm here under kind of odd circumstances. The owner's rep that taken this through the planning commission, Ryan McLevin, a young real estate agent, passed away suddenly, which is why it kind of sat after in the April 2025 planning commission meeting. No one moved forward to it until I got retained and reached out to Scott and Keita about getting this put on the agenda to talk about it. As Scott's explained, this is about 2.31 acres on Fairchild Street. It has been used by AT&T for a kind of a commercial center, service center for their vehicles since 1967. Your zoning ordinance was adopted in 1993, so it is legally pre-existing, non-conforming, and can be used currently as it is indefinitely. The reason why the owner wanted to move forward with a rezoning request is it's under contract to sell it to another company. That other company is going to take it subject to the lease that AT&T has. AT&T has 5 years left on its term, and then it has option renewals beyond that. And so there's no intended change in use of the property in the foreseeable future, but because another property owner is coming in and buying it, they wanted the zoning to match the use. With Mr. McLeavin, when he moved forward to the Planning Commission, and there was public notice that went out to the Planning Commission, like there will be for this ordinance, and no one showed up at the Planning Commission meeting to argue against it or had any concerns. It's been, the current use has been in place for quite some time, and I don't know if there have been any issues with that. I don't know why Mr. McLeavin asked it to be zoned from R1 to industrial zoning. I probably wouldn't have made that request, and that wasn't what the planner recommended and the Planning Commission ultimately recommended. There is some industrial zoning, I think, a little further east on the property. But the C2 zoning, which you see, it's everything north of Fairchild Street is zoned C2. That zoning would be consistent with the use that's there now. And so that's what the planner recommended to the Planning Commission, and the Planning Commission unanimously recommended to you guys. Happy to answer any questions. I mean, we're really just, because it's going through the process of having someone look at it to buy it, they want the zoning to match the current use. There's no change in use planned. AT&T is going to stay there for the foreseeable future. But if there are any concerns about this, I can try to answer them today. Certainly, if we're going to come back for a public hearing and additional readings, I'd be glad to bring any additional information that this body may want to have. The property owner's been paying commercial taxes on it in the past. I mean, we looked at the tax records, it's been assessed at 40% as commercial property, even though it's zoned residential. It's probably something that I think in 1993, it probably should have been zoned commercial at that time since that was the use, but for whatever reason, they didn't do that. And so that's why we're here.
My concern is that when you change it, they could do just about anything they wanted to there.
Well, they would have to be consistent with the C2 zoning, which has limitations and then is consistent with anything that could go on north of the property. But I understand that. I think that's why the C2 zoning was something that the planning in charge of the planning commissioners voted instead of the I2, because that's a less intensive zone, and and look at the uses. I mean, they're fairly consistent with what is there already.
Do you have any idea what it's going to be? Whoever's going to buy it, do you know what they're going to?
For at least the next 5 years, and probably longer than that, since there are option renewals, it's going to say exactly the same it is. It's just because they're going through the process of buying it, and they're going to title and financing and everything else. The people that are looking at it on their end says, well, we understand non-conforming uses, but we would rather the zoning match what is there.
And I guess my question is sort of the same as Councilwoman Laxton. It sits in the middle of a residential area except for across the street, which is a C2 already. When I seen this, I sit on planning commission. I must not have been there that night when this come up. I looked, I don't think I was there, because I would ask the questions. Usually the city of Harriman don't spot zone. That would be considered spot zoning to me. Although it's across the street, you're still spot zoning in the middle of a residential area on that side of the street.
That's my concern.
Why those was put there in 93 had to be a reason that we haven't researched as to why they drew the lines the way they did. I'm comfortable with AT&T for the next 5 years, but we've all heard the rumors that AT&T is slacking back and they're going to leave that spot. So when they leave that spot, the properties on both sides of that, my concern is what happens. And then I go back to planning commission. The question would have been, without a guarantee of what you're putting on that property, why would we rezone it without knowing? Every time we rezone something, we know what's going there to rezone it, instead of just an open blank of, well, we don't know. We know it's going to stay that way for 5 years, but after that, we don't know what might happen. So if I was the person that lived beside of it, my concern was what's gonna happen to my property when that happens. So those are the questions I have. I just think that, I think our job is to protect our citizens and make sure. Now, it can come up and we can vote and we can see if somebody comes and they speak on it from the citizens' part. My goal was to go out and talk to the citizens that live there and say, how do you guys feel about this? Because this is going to affect your property. You know, I don't know why they didn't do it. I guess the reason they didn't do it before is because they straight lined it and they didn't want to spot over. And if you'll look at our zoning map throughout the city, I looked at it today, and we don't really have any spot zoning inside the city. Everything is pretty straight line. There may be some,
Yeah.
but I didn't see any.
I know, I think that's the reason Mr. McLevin asked for the industrial zoning, because just, I don't know if you can, that map's movable or not. There is some industrial zoning just kind of out there in the middle, just a little bit further east of that, which is why he asked for the industrial.
Zoning, he's asked for C2 zone.
No, he asked for the industrial zone. The planner recommended to the planning commission, they deny the industrial zone, but they approved the C2 zone because it was across the street. And that's what the planning commission voted on. His application was the industrial
You've got
zone.
houses on both sides of it, and then you've got the houses up behind it. And my concern is, sure, maybe, but we all know AT&T will probably leave it. And then what are we gonna put there? And the, you know, we know what, the chicken place is, and then the little storage warehouse, we know what that is, and we know they're not gonna bring in. And then when you start talking about industrial, changing it to industrial.
We're not trying to change it to industrial. That was the original application for whatever reason. Like I said, if I was involved in it back then, I wouldn't have asked for industrial. I would have asked for the C2
I
zoning.
think the industrial that you're pointing out was a schools that sat there, so that's why it was.
It may have been, and like I said, I wouldn't have asked for it. I think though that may be, I can't speak to Mr. McLevin and why he did that. I suspect since he saw industrial zoning, he thought that might be considered more compatible. But the planners and the planning commission recommended the C2 zoning, like across the street.
Any other comments from council?
I don't have any.
Thank you for coming down.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Look forward to this, hopefully being, I guess, have a public hearing and see if there's any concerns, and I'll see if I can get some more direction as to what the long-term plans may be on it.
That'd be nice.
Well, that would be, and I know that it's hard to make long-term plans. But it scares me of what it could end up being. And there's homes with children in that, and then, you know, I'm not there yet.
And we love commercial land because, you know, it's a better tax revenue, but not right in the middle of a residential.
Yeah. I mean, the residential was who elected me. And if I turned their neighborhood into
Who knows what?
then I just feel like that's, you know.
No, I appreciate your concerns, which is why I'm here having this conversation now, because I got involved in this I guess I reached out to you about 3 weeks ago, is that maybe? I wasn't in time to get it on the earlier November meeting. So
Yeah,
that's why I'm here to get that
I think
feedback.
if we knew what even, you know, the plans were, you know, but I'm gonna be talking to all the neighbors.
And we're gonna receive more knowledge about this, and especially it's gonna be posted for 15 days. And so we'll probably gain some input from the residents as well, and maybe answer
And they-
that question here.
They may not care,
They may not. Okay.
so, but I'm gonna talk to them.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your time.
I appreciate
Thank you
y'all
very
here and
much.
not taking time for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So just to make sure, we don't need to do any action of it.
No, we don't.
Okay.
Right. If none needs to be done on that, that's all we have on our agenda. We'll have, we'll go into council remarks. Councilman Wright.
No, sir.
Read that again. Would we want to do that tonight? When's our next meeting?
First Tuesday of December.
December 2nd.
Oh, December 2nd. Maybe it's time to.
I think we do it now. We'll take that back. Can I get we want to go ahead
Wait,
and
the
do
agenda.
our Christmas bonuses. We have to approve those. So we want to do that to approve them for as quick as you can get them ready. So I need a motion to waive the agenda rule.
Motion.
Second. Second. All in favor, aye? Any opposed, like sign. We usually approve the Christmas bonuses once a year, and the amount of the Christmas bonuses, I know we put them in the budget. What amount did we put in the budget?
1,000. 1,000
1,000? Is that after taxes or before?
after taxes.
So $1,000, so they'll take $1,000 home. All right.
Full-time employees.
Full-time, part-time is,
3 to 5.
you've got it worked out.
We do, yeah.
What's in the budget?
Within the budget.
Okay.
So I'd like to make a motion for us to pass the already approved budget for 2026, the Christmas bonuses, for full-time and part-time.
A motion by Councilwoman Harris, a second by Councilman Wright. Councilwoman Harris.
No, sir.
No, Councilman Wright. Floor is open for discussion. Call the roll, please.
Tim Johnson.
Yes.
Alicia Harris.
Yes.
John Brackett.
Yes.
Lonnie Wright.
Yes.
Cheryl Laxton.
Yes.
Motion carries. That's all we have on the agenda. Councilman Wright, you have anything?
No, sir.
Councilman Johnson?
No, sir.
Councilwoman Harris?
No, sir.
Councilman Brackett?
No, sir.
Councilwoman Laxton?
No, sir.
I don't have anything either. We have a workshop that will start just as soon as I hit this gavel. We'll get started if everybody's okay with that.
I'm fine.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Like sign.